So in our yesterday session, we covered on transformations. So we gone through understanding of what is transformation, and what else we learned in a transformation, how to verify rules and all, rule details, different type of aggregations, okay, and then how to derive time dimension and how to provide constants. All these we learned in the yesterday session. And now today what we are going to learn is, today we are going to learn on formula. Okay, so what is formula and how exactly we use in real time this formula function, okay, that we are going to discuss today. Nice. Okay, so I will give you some scenarios first where exactly we use this formula, and then we will go into further. Okay, so formulas are mainly first of all, how to derive formula for any new field. What I am going to do now, as of now in my cube, these are my fields. Okay, so in this I will take material. Okay, I will take this material. So when I see the data coming for this material, okay, so what kind of data I'm getting for this material field here, I will go to utilities. Let me go for example, maybe that will be easy, faster to understand. Okay, so what we can do by with help of formulas. Okay, for example, in your target, if you want to store the current date, means whenever data is loading from source into target, on one particular column you want to store the current date. It means nothing but load date. So how you can get it? So load date, you can get it via formula. Okay, so what is load date? So load date, what exactly it is telling? Whenever DTP I am executing, at the time of DTP, what was the current date? I am going to store that information on my one of my column in my target. So this is one of kind of requirement we will get in real time. Okay, so when we taking snapshots of some data, so at the time of it we need this, we use this load date. What else? So using formula we can apply if conditions. Okay, using this formula, formula type, we can apply if condition when storing data into this field. For example, what is one-to-one mapping? One-to-one mapping is nothing but what is there on the source exactly is going to store on my target. Okay, but while I'm storing into my target, I can apply some if condition, and based on that, I can derive my new value. What it means is, for example, here, for example, this is my source, this is my target. Okay, in the source, what I can do, I can write it one some if condition, like if my source is negative, make it 0, else take source value as it was. So this is one kind of logic. So what exactly it is? If from the source, if I am getting -9, then in my target I want it as 0, because if any negative value coming from source, I want to make it as a 0. Okay, and next, if any positive, for example, I am getting 5. If I am getting 5, then I will take as it is 5. Okay, so this is one kind of logic. So this kind of logic I can derive in the transformation by using this formula. Okay, so what else? For example, you are getting a string like Srinivas. For example, from your source you are getting a string like this, and from this string you want the first 3 characters of your string to store in your target SRI. So if you want to derive this kind of logic, then you can you do this using this formula. It means you can apply string functions. You can, for example, I will give you one more. For example, you are getting 2 values on your source. Till now, whatever example I am taking always based upon one mapping from source to the target mapping. But using this formula, we can take 2 mappings also. Like for example, I am getting a KPI called quantity and amount. From source, I am getting 2 key figures like this, 2 in 2 columns. This is my source. Okay. Now in the target, I have a column called net value. And net value is a summation, is a multiplication of my quantity into amount. For example, on quantity, if I am getting 10, amount I am having 5, then I need net value as 10 into 5. Okay. If I want to perform this kind of arithmetic operation, then this also I can perform by using this formula. Formula means anything you can do using this formula, but not everything, but you have some restrictions also, but simple calculations and all can be performed using this formula function. Instead of writing a big ABAP code in the backend, you can make it by simply by using this formula also. Okay, now let's go into example to understand these scenarios. Okay, so in our current scenario, so if I go to my data set, okay, in my data set I have quantity, I have amount. Okay, so for example, now what I am going to do is I am going to derive add one extra column here. Okay, net value I am going to add here. So the net value is nothing but quantity into amount. So I will give you this example. But to add that field, first I need one info object for that one, RSD1. So let me check a 0 net value is there or not in my system. I don't know whether I have any KPI which can store this. Okay, with nothing, no key figures are there with this one. Let me go here. Capacity output days quantity ZMM quantity ZMM amount. Okay, I have one field called ZMM amount with the unit called zero currency. Okay, here also I have zero amount with same zero currency. So now what I am going to do, I am going to my cube, my cube CSL-S4. Where is my cube? CSL-S4. Okay, I am going to my ADS4. I am going to add a new info object into my one. But when adding this info object, I want to add it in the key figure folder. So select the key figure folder, go to add info object and provide your technical name here. Click on OK. Click on OK. Now GG amount got added. Now activate it. Remember here, so you are currently, this is my ADSO and this is the transformation and this is the DTP. Okay. Now I am going to change my structure because when I'm adding a new column to this ADSO, it means I am changing the structure of the ADSO. Remember, okay, when you change the structure of the structure of a provider, the immediate nodes data flow, it means for this ADSO, this is the transformation. Okay, so this particular transformation and the immediate the impacted, this DTP was created on top of this one, right? These are two will be impacted. It means these two will get inactive. Okay, we can see it practically now. So I am going to my HANA Studio. I'm activating my ADSO. Okay, ADSO got activated. Now I am going back to my SAP. Here I am going to /n RSA11 1 or 11. Okay, everything is fine. RSA1. Now if I expand my cube, you see earlier it was in black color like this, thick black. Now it is dull color. It means which is inactive state. Okay, if you change the structure of a DSO or a cube or whatever it may be, the immediate objects, linked objects will get inactive. So this transformation got inactive and DTP also got inactive. So you must go open it, go to change mode and then need to activate, then only this will become activated. Okay, so it is one of the important point you must remember in the real-time projects. Okay, so if someone asks you to add it, it's not simply adding, but all the dependent objects will get impacted. Not only downward flow. Actually, if I talk about this data flow, I have a sales ADSO standard. From here, data is going to upward direction into my cube. So now if I say this transformation is under like a downward flow, but if there is any upward flow, then that also will get impacted, immediate upward flow. Okay, we can discuss that also in detail session in later time. But now we are learning about formulas. So now I added amount field here. Now on this amount field, I am going to apply one formula. So what is my formula? I am going to do quantity into amount. So in order to do quantity into amount, what I need to do here, I need to map quantity to my amount, and I need to map amount also into my amount. 1 second. Quantity, why it is not coming? Yeah, okay, both. So I mapped both the quantity and amount fields into my target. So we can do it, but it's not one-to-one mapping because I am going to change it as a formula. That's the reason I added it at both the fields. So I am selecting my formula option here, and in the formula, so this is your formula box. Here you need to write your logic. Okay, no need of ABAP code. Simple selecting, the available functions here. So now my requirement is to multiply quantity into means in SAP it is star into amount. That's it. This is the checkbox to check your syntax error in a formula, not syntax error. Sorry. Okay, fine. Quantity came twice, I think. If you click on this expert mode, this will go to this like this. Yeah. Quantity into amount. Now you see formula syntax is correct. So one time only it must come quantity into amount. So I written the formula properly now. Everything is correct. Come back. There is no save button here. Okay, remember once you done with writing, just come back. It will save automatically. Now you see the rule type also the icon got changed. For direct assignment it is equal to, for read from master data it is like this, constant it is like this. Now for formula it will be less like this, A by B. Okay, now transfer values. You see A by B, quantity into amount. You can see that text also. So from where exactly it is coming, this quantity into amount text, actually whatever formula you written, that formula is getting copied into your description. But if you want to change this description, you can do it, or you can leave it as it is. Okay, and remember one more point. After you writing your rule here, you can check your rule is working properly or not by using this execute button. Is it test rule? You can test it. Okay, now I am clicking on test button. Now it is asking me what is your quantity. For example, I am giving 10 and unit of measure as ST and currency as, for example, 5 USD. Then and click on execute button. So system will perform this formula. You see I am getting 50, 10 into 550 USD. Okay, and this is the time taken to do it. So your formula is working as expected. Now transfer values, important transfer values, then click on activate. So your transformation was activated, formula was done. Now what I am going to do, I am going to perform one-time data reload into this one. So since my DTP was inactive due to my changes in the provider, I need to activate my DTP one more time. Okay, activated. So now this is a full DTP. So I'm okay. So now what happened? This is a delta DTP. Okay. So now what I need to do? Yeah. Okay. Let's learn this concept also. The difference between delta and the full DTP. So we are going to learn now. Okay. So currently my DTP is of kind delta. Okay. Go to manage of my source. So what exactly your DTP does? What exactly the function of your DTP? Data transfer process. It means it will read data from your source and transfers into your target. Okay, that is your DTP functionality. So I executed this DTP yesterday. So if I go to manage of my target, I can see there is a request here. You see the request from 14th date. Okay, this request, if I go to process monitor of this request and go to header section, here I can see selections. So when this DTP is executing, what was the selections provided for this execution? if you see all data from active table, it means nothing but from this particular ADSO active table, it fetched all the requests. It means if I go to my source provider, go to manage button, all the requests from this DTP, from this ADSO got already moved into my target. So if I try to execute delta one more time, because there are no new requests to transfer to the target, it will give 0 records. You see, 0 records. Request selections, selections like this, but 15. Okay, selections with it's tried to fetch data, but 2022 0 15 0 5. So there are no, okay. Type in manage close. What happened, from where it came exactly? 14th one, delta. Is it what kind of TTP it is? Delta only, right? How come delta came again? So again it fetched 6 records here. So how the 6 records came? This is 15th request. If I go to process monitor header, it is showing 2022 7:15 11:28. And if I go to my source provider 7:15 11:28, do I have any request? You see 7:15 11:28. Only one request is there. Okay, it's okay, fine. I will let you know this again. Maybe something deleted here. If I go to manage of my ADSO, okay, go to utilities, display new data, execute. Now you see there are 2 requests in my cube. Okay, so one is this one, other one is this one. One second. So which one request is today's request? This is today's request. Okay, in this request, and if you go to this amount, where is net? This one, net amount, amount. You see it was 1000, 10 into 100, 1000, 15 into 300, 4500. You see, like this we are getting the data. So what happened here? Exactly quantity into amount got multiplied and you are getting the value here. So this is how to apply formulas at your transformation level. So this, as I said, this is one of the example. So using these formulas, we did some arithmetic operation. In the same way, we can do furthermore. So to explain it, I need to little bit change here. So what to change? I'm going to my transformation. So what I'm going to do is on the material, okay, on the material column, or I need to add one new column. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit mode. I'm going to material column. On the material column, what I'm going to do is I'm writing a formula on the material formula now. One second. String. I want to show you one scenario for string functions, how it is going to work. So I already shown one example for the arithmetic operation, and I want to show you one function, for one string function. Oh yeah, string function. So I go to my rule details of my material. Now I am making it as on formula here. So what I am going to do is in my source data, I have materials like M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. These are the materials which I have in my source. Okay. So now what I am going to do is, if the material is M1, I will change it to M10. Okay. That's what I am going to do here. In my source, as of now, I don't have any record with M10 material. So now I'm going to use this formula to do that one. So how to work out it? Now we are going to learn this if condition. So double click on this if function. You see, when you say if function, it will come in this way. If brackets open and then 2 commas bracket close. So this is the syntax of your if condition. So what is the syntax? How it will work? Okay, that we are going to see now. This is important. Even in Bex also, it will be a little bit similar. Okay, so how exactly this if condition works? So if condition on the first, here we have 2 parameters. You see, A is 1 parameter, B is 1 parameter, C. That then it is a correctly A comma B comma C. So here the first parameter is nothing but condition. Here you need to mention the condition. Okay, and on the second parameter is true case. Okay, true case, and here false case. It means if it is true, if the condition is true, then this particular statement will execute, and if the condition is false, then this particular statement is executed. So we will try to understand this with one simple example. If, okay, if 2 greater than 3. So is it true or false? It's false. 2 is less than 3. Correct. So if it is false, one second. If 2 greater than 3, then 2, then 3. So what will be the output of this statement? Okay. So first it will check the condition 2 greater than 3. So which is false case. Then if it is false, it will bring data from the false condition. Means the output of the statement is 3. Okay. And one more condition. If 5 greater than 3. So if I given like this, in this scenario, 5 greater than 3 is a true. If it is true, then it will bring information. It will update the statement from this particular one. So it will give output as 4. Okay. So like this, if and else condition will work in this using this syntax. Okay. So again, if you want, you can write further here, but okay, don't make it complicated at this point of time. So now in my scenario, now what I am going to do now, if I am going to check my material. If my material is equal to M1, then I am going to give as M10, or else I am going to update as it is. Whatever material is coming from my source, I am going to take as it is. Okay. So how to write this one? So after if condition, keep your cursor on the before the first comma and write your condition. So G material is equal to, you are going to provide some constant, right? Click on this constant and give here M1. So if your G material is equal to M1, then you are going to give some constant M10. One second, constant. Put your cursor here and then click on constant. Gives capital M10. So if it is true, then you are changing it to M10. If it is not equal to M1, then you are going to, you are going to place the same, whatever coming on this column, you are going to keep the same value here also. Okay. If I click on check button, syntax error. Okay. Here something wrong came. 1 minute. Okay. So this is your formula. If material is equal to M1, you are going to change it to M10, or else you are taking a value as it is. So transfer values. Come back one step and then transfer values. Activate. So now I want to perform one data load from source to target. For this reason, what I am going to do, I am going to drop data. Okay, I am completely dropping data from my cube. Right click on the DSO, delete data. So it means it will delete the data from the DSO, from the cube, but not the cube. Okay. So now I'm going to execute my TTP. Click on execute. Yeah. Go to manage of your ADS or cube type ADS4. Close. 6 records came. Utilities, display new data. Click on execute. Now you see wherever I have M1, now I can see M10, and remaining places I can see the same kind of value coming from source. Okay, I hope it is clear. So this is another example to apply the string function. And one last example I am going to teach you now. For that I need one info object. Okay. For that, what I am going to do is, this is one of the real-time example. So if conditions also we may need to implement in the real time. So it is important to learn this one. Okay. Now, next important point which I am going to discuss now is, since the example is over, I am going to delete this rule. Deleting rule means just removing this mapping and then doing one-to-one mapping one more time to make it fresh. Just one-to-one mapping. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop all data from my DSV also. It means I want to delete my cube information. Delete data. Yes. So now I don't have any data in my cube. So just to verify it, I'm going to utilities, display new data, number of entries, 0 records are there. Okay. So now I'm going to teach you one more important point. Okay. So this is my, this is coming from ADS4, right? ADS4. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one new info object for our testing purpose. Okay, I'm creating a new characteristic. Go here, new characteristic, G Matner underscore S, small letters, Matner characteristic. It's length 18. But here in this particular info object, I am going to select this case sensitive. It means in this particular info object, I can store capital letters, small letters, both. Only if you can enable, if you enable this case sensitive, then only this info object will store small letters, or else it will throw you an error message. Okay, I enable this one. Now I am going to add this info object into my cube. So copy this info object, go to your cube, go to your material folder, add info object. Okay, so since better to close this one once and then refresh your info area, some refreshing error is coming. So go to here, go to your ADS4. Now go to detail section, go to material, info object, select your info object, click on OK. Yeah, info object came here, and then activate your ADS4. So since again you changed the structure of your ADS4, system will again deactivate your transformation. Okay, no other way. So you see, this was inactive. So come to change mode of this transformation to activate it again. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one string function. So in this particular info object, what I'm going to store is I'm going to convert my material information coming from my source into small letters. Okay, so how I can do that? Generally in our real time we will get a requirement to convert data into uppercase. So what happens is the data you will get from ECC and you load into BW. Okay, from ECC, for example, you are getting a material called bottle. Some bottle is a material. Okay, if this information is coming in small letters and your info object, material info object will allow only capital letters, then what you are going to do, you are going to apply a formula in between in the transformation to convert the small letters into capital letters. So but in our case I am simply doing reversal. I am converting capital to small letters. Okay, how to do that? Go to formula, go to show me, here select string functions. Okay, here there is an option called to lower. Oh, to upper is there, smaller is not there. Where is the person? To upper. string length assign shift to upper. So to upper converts the starter string into upper. I think okay, we don't have function directly to convert the capital to slower. So what I can do is here, just to show you the example, instead of uppercase, what I am going to do is I am going to read the second character from my none. So right string, right trimmer, no, substring. Go to substring operator, select material, and and here you need to press the from where 1. How many characters? I will tell you how it will work exactly. So this is the formula which I written. I am taking it into Notepad and then come back, transfer values, activate. Delete content. Now try to load data again from fresh. Execute. Click on OK. Refresh. Yeah, green. Request status is green. I'm going to admin target. Go to utilities. Display new data. Execute. So if you see here on material underscore s, I am getting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So what is this 1? What is this 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3? These are nothing but the second characters of my material. Okay, I have written a formula like this. Substring. Substring means take some part of the string. So what part I need to consider? I am mentioning here clearly. I am going to material info object, and from material info object, from the placing will start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So I am starting from one position till one character. Okay, it means it will go to one letter, and then from here one letter means only second letter will come into output. Okay, so like this you can apply formulas also in your write some formulas using functions. So there is nothing much to discuss here. So we learned about, so far we learned about transformations and the transformation formulas also. Okay, so we covered most of the topics. The only pending topic that is open is the routine part. Okay, how to write ABAP routines in a transformation level. So this we will discuss when we go through ABAP sessions, because to write any ABAP, first of all you need